He said, "Go back to your country." Now I'm his boss. The moment those words hit me, I froze. I was standing in the break room of my very first job in the United States, holding a paper cup of coffee, when a coworker smirked and said, "Go back to your country." His voice carried that cruel mix of arrogance and ignorance. Some people in the room laughed nervously, while others looked down, pretending not to hear. I was new, young, and trying to find my footing, and that sentence cut deeper than I expected. But instead of letting anger consume me, I decided right then and there that his words wouldn't define me. I promised myself that I'd work harder, learn faster, and prove that I belonged, not just in that company, but in this country too. At first, it wasn't easy. I worked the late shifts, picked up the jobs nobody wanted, and spent my free time studying business, leadership, and communication. I watched how managers operated and how decisions were made. While others clocked out at 5, I stayed behind, learning the ropes, making connections, and taking every opportunity that came my way. Slowly, I climbed the ladder, and life has a way of coming full circle. Years later, after relentless work and dedication, I was promoted into management. Not long after that, I was offered a chance to run an entire branch, and eventually, through consistency and vision, I was named regional director, responsible for hiring, training, and leading the very same people who once thought I didn't belong. Then came the twist. One morning, a familiar name appeared on the list of new hires. It was him, the same man who told me to go back to my country. Time had clearly humbled him. His hair was thinner, his tone quieter. But the moment I walked into the room and introduced myself as his new boss, I saw the shock on his face. His jaw tightened and his eyes darted away. But there was no denying the reality. I didn't humiliate him or remind him of his past words. Instead, I treated him with professionalism and respect, even when he struggled to look me in the eye. But I knew he remembered, and the silence between us carried a message louder than any speech. The very person he tried to push down was now the one leading him. The best part? Over time, his attitude changed. He worked harder, showed more humility, and eventually even apologized, not with words, but with actions. He learned what I had always known. Respect has nothing to do with where you come from and everything to do with how you treat people. So the next time someone tries to tell you that you don't belong, remember this. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is not shouting back. It's rising so high that even your doubters have no choice but to look up.